Please subscribe to Matt Rhodes Sport on YouTube. He has lots of strongman information.
Guys, could you please subscribe to Matt Rhodes Sport? A lot of good content.
And going into strongman, the time that you got into it, World's Strongest Man and IFSA had the split, and you went the IFSA way, Big Z,
Of course.
but the likes of Marius Pudzianowski were winning most. Why did you go that way and not World's
If you want
Strongest
to
Man?
be strongest, you must play with strongest.
Okay, that's your reason.
It's normal rule. It's normal. I don't find easy ways ever.
Okay, so are you saying that Marius stayed at World's Strongest Man so he could win more easily?
Yeah. It's for me, Marius is good guy, but is one. It's like head of World's Strongest Man competition. Colin Bryce tell me when IFSA Super Series, Strongman Super Series was broken for two sides, IFSA and World's Strongest Man. Colin Bryce was so sad, and Dougie Edmonds says, tell him, okay, I will be in IFSA, you will be World's Strongest Man. We are family, we are friends, you're my son, everything will be okay, you will be make money in World's Strongest Man, I will be make money in IFSA Strongman Sport. And what you need for that, for World's Strongest Man, because a lot of strongest guys, Sven Carson, Magnus Samuelsson, Big Z, where still go to IFSA, go to money, because head of IFSA Federation tell for this strongest I will be pay you each month money, no compete only. And Dougie tell to Colin Bryce, Colin, you need only one strongest. You need Marius and 30 guys from street with big belly.
So Marius like the poster boy.
Yeah.
And then just these other guys to fill up the numbers.
Yeah. You need only one and 30 guys with big belly, big beer belly. You don't need it, and it will be World's Strongest Man. It's work. It's work. It's all work.
A big talking point about you is always about your traps, biggest traps in the world. What's the story with that? Is there a story?
Somebody white, it's Instagram is a single like this, this is a diploma like this.
All these different stories,
This is no right.
Do you actually train them specifically to grow them, or it's just a natural way from your training?
I train
gone like this.
normal training, This is traps, no symptom, because why?
Wouldn't make any sense to you to do that,
And when I hear the symptom and I lift this super yoke, 500, 400
It will burst or something.
Yes.
Something there.
You think this symptom is stronger? No.
Do your traps actually help you on something like a yoke and a squat?
Squat, yoke, yes. I 2 months ago I go to the doctor and see my traps.
Okay.
And doctor say this is a 15% is body. This is muscles.
Okay.
50% is fat.
Okay.
Here.
Yeah.
Because it's what do you say?
50 and 50, yeah?
50,
Muscle and
50,
fat.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you think Marius, in this day and age, given him the advances in sports science of course, would dominate? Because isn't he really?
Dominate's a strong word.
He was the dominator.
Yeah, I don't think he would be a dominator
anymore,
now.
Why? Because it's become more competitive overall?
But then it's hard to say. Maybe he would rise to the level.
Yeah.
So it's hard to really. Okay, if we teleported Marius from 2002, 2003, and put him in now, he would have his hands full.
Yeah.
He definitely wouldn't walk through like he did in 2002 and 2003. No chance. He would still do really well, but some of the maximal events, deadlifts, and the 400-pound logs, he would have his hands full. Yeah.
I mean, people hold that against his record a bit, that with the ISPA split, that
Yeah.
people went, but he didn't go away, did he? He had beaten Big Z for a couple of years on the trot, and
Well-
those guys went the other way.
So
Is that the way you see it, or
Marius has 2 World's Strongest Man titles with an asterisk,
yeah?
as far as I'm concerned, because I competed with IFSA in 05, 6, and 7.
Yeah, so you
Big
were-
Z would have kicked his ass.
So you think
in
Big
those
Z
years.
would have if he
Absolutely,
was-
without he and Vasil and Misha would have all beaten him in those years. I have no doubt in that.
And yourself?
Me, not in
yourself in
those
there?
years. No, I would. 08, he beat me. 09, I would have had a much closer run, but I had broken my AC joint, so my first couple of events really held me back. But I think in 09 was the only chance that I had that I was close enough to Marius to beat him.
Okay, because 09 was his final World
was his
Strongest
last
Man,
year,
yeah. When Big Z just beat him in the end, but Big Z had
Well,
the arm over arm disaster.
Yeah,
which-
exactly. Big Z was kicking his ass, and then the
Yeah.
arm over arm is his absolute worst
Yeah.
event.
The only thing is with that, they started with the fingers that a lot of people said World's Strongest Man picked because it did not favour Marius, and Big Z won that event. I think.
That's a fair
So
point.
maybe
That's a
it's
fair
kind of-
point. Good
yeah,
balance. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Marius was kind of hot and cold. I think 2007 he smoked it, but the other years he would always fumble.
But
something.
maybe that was motivation waning, do you think? Or-
I don't know. Marius tried to tell me that he didn't train too hard for 2009. And we were sitting like this, and I looked at his arms, and I told him to his face, I said, "You're full of shit. You were lying to me." No, I'm not training for this. I'm not training. Like, you're lying, man. So,
World's Strongest Man this year.
For example, you broke the Masters deadlift world record, and your body.
Deadlift twerk.
Yeah. So this is my question. It's very intensive on the central nervous system. For example, that deadlift when you broke the record, how was your body for the next week, 2 weeks? You have problems with your body.
Дело в том, что этот дедлифт,
Ну, тягой просто
да, он действительно влияет на нервную систему. Так вот, как ваше тело реагировало на то, что вы
The recovery from
могли
it's a problem.
повредить? Были ли какие-то проблемы с восстановлением?
Здесь даже была проблема не с восстановлением степени, а вообще с выполнением этого упражнения.
The problem was not in recovering, but in the do of this exercise.
Это же была вторая попытка у меня, которую давали организаторы данного мероприятия.
It was a second choice to do.
This record
Да,
attempt,
второй сезон это был.
yeah.
И в первом сезоне я был готов гораздо лучше.
And in the first season, I was ready.
Но я никогда не выступал в формате онлайн.
And I've never just compete in online format.
Okay. Yeah.
И когда во второй попытке я вот это делал, я не успел просто физически подготовиться полноценно по определенным причинам.
And when I was in the second season, I wasn't ready because of reasonable reasons.
Чтобы было более понятно, за неделю я сделал для себя последнюю попытку, проверить себя, проходка это называется, сколько я смогу потянуть, смогу ли я больше. И мне не удалось поднять даже 420 килограмм.
Or in a week before the competition.
До рекорда. Не соревнования, до рекорда.
I mean before a record.
Yeah.
He made something like
420.
420
Не поднял.
kilos. He didn't did it.
Да, и через 6 дней мне надо было поднять на 16 килограмм больше.
And after 6 days, he would have
То есть представляете, насколько это психологически надо было настроиться, и я просто настолько, сколько смог, сколько у меня было знаний, эта тяга была выполнена больше на психике, на психологии.
Okay, so on your psychology, where do you go in your mind?
Секунду. И вы правильно подметили, что действительно это сказалось. Восстановление было дольше после этого одного упражнения, было дольше, чем после полного соревнования, полноценного соревнования.
And you were really right, they said that recovering was really long.
Yeah, I imagine.
Если после обычных соревнований я где-то на восстановление уходит 2-3 недели, после этого рекорда у меня ушло почти 2 месяца на восстановление.
After this record, particularly 2 months were the recovering, but after the usual competition, it's only 3 weeks.
Я просто я весь выложился, как и физически, так и психологически.
I just physically and emotionally.
2010, World's Strongest Man, you came third.
Yeah.
If I'm correct, 2010, Brian Shaw and Big Z drew
Yeah,
on points,
yeah.
and Big Z won on countback. What was your opinion on that? You thought that was fair, or they should have just left it as a draw, or they should have had an extra event? What was your feeling on that? It's a very controversial moment.
I think Brian Shaw have so many experience.
Yeah, and he didn't say anything.
Yes.
Yeah,
And he don't believe in himself.
yeah,
He can
didn't have the confidence to say, "Hang on a minute."
with his power, he can stay World's Strongest Man in 2009,
Yeah,
first time. But he
didn't have the
shy
faith, yeah.
guy. He was shy.
That's when
you
Big
know.
Z came first, Marius came second,
Yeah.
Brian third. Then yeah.
Always,
Yeah.
Brian was shy. You know,
Yeah.
more like little girl. Fucking. That's
You said that,
first time I meeting with him in 2007. It was like, oh, okay. It's like
Okay,
Patrick and cartoon Patrick, you know, cartoon star Patrick with SpongeBob SquarePants.
Okay. Like that,
Brian
yeah.
Shaw was like
Like
Patrick.
that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Brian Shaw, you're Patrick. And Patrick now, but little bit older.
Yeah, more experience, he's got more confidence.
I respect him, but
Yeah.
I see what I see.
Yeah. No, everybody saw that. He
it's-
was very
it's-
quiet at that time. But actually, he's been one of the smartest guys with social media and how to monetize that and done very well. But yeah,
He
for
stayed.
sure.
He can be strongest six time.
And do you count Thor's 501?
Okay,
as
I have a
competition?
problem with that. Okay, so when it comes to is it legit because of where it was, Eddie brought his own equipment and did his own stuff with the motivation of 10,000 people.
Yeah.
That's a big
That's
motivator.
helpful, right?
Hugely helpful. Thor did it in his own gym on his own equipment, so he and Eddie are even on that. Thor had all his friends there helping. I think it's totally apples to apples. I think it's totally fair.
Okay.
What I don't like about it is the bullshit 1 kilo. 1 freaking kilo. If you're gonna break a record, don't add a chip to it. Put some freaking weight on the bar and 5 kilos at least.
The only thing is,
One
when you're
freaking
at,
kilo?
When you're at 500 kilos, is every kilo not a huge amount?
Shit, it's still
Yeah.
shit. I can't.
So that's the
I
thing,
hate
yeah.
1 kilo. I hate it. 2.5 at least.
So for you, it counts, but you should have gone for a bit more as opposed to.
I mean,
so
I would
safe,
I
yeah.
would probably say 502.5. I could squeak that one by, but 501 is just like chicken shit.
Yeah, fair enough. And on your deadlift, where are you at on a max deadlift at the moment?
Do you think deadlifts should be allowed the figure 8 straps, or it should just be regular straps?
Regular straps.
Yeah.
I like regular straps because it's like these straps.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah. I'm not sure why they're still allowing it, because definitely
because
the fans are not
you
happy.
go straps bar and your fingers like this.
Yeah.
This is a
Yeah.
no.
It's not
This
really,
is a-
yeah.
no,
It's
yeah.
literally hanging, yeah? There's
Yes.
no grip on there at all.
Normal straps
Yeah.
you can like this.
Do you think the only reason that they let you use figure of 8 is because they want the records to go higher? Is that the reason, do you think? That's my theory. The reason they keep them there is because they want you guys to keep breaking records, and if they don't let you use figure 8, probably the weight will be slightly less. Yeah? Controversial maybe, but that's the way I see it. And I'm guessing with your background that probably your heart lies in raw lifting as opposed to strongman with suits and figure 8 straps. You prefer the raw when you really
One
get down
time
to
I
it.
compete with that, with super suit. One time, I don't understand
for
it.
you,
It's not. It's broken my angles.
Yeah. Do I records get beaten obviously all of the time. You know, obviously the sport advances, but I think I'm right in saying at one time you broke a world record in deadlift by putting something like 360 for
340
340 for 10
for 11.
for 11, and Big Z I think did it.
Same,
at the same
after
day as
me,
you, yeah.
but
But
my body
you did it
weight
first.
145.
Yeah, and his was what 175 or something.
175.
Yeah, but that is
I'm
crazy deadlift.
I use my angles. I use my all the way. Now I'm watching it. Some guys who make deadlift. I can see my technique on it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Because when I compete, I look around of me
Yeah.
to a strongman, strongest guys, and look, oh, fucking technique. Why
is off, yeah.
it's not good?
Over
It's
460
good.
rule.
It's good. It's good result with new rules.
Strongman
with
rules,
deadlift.
yeah. New straps.
New straps with like when you make
So
it.
figure eight where it's hanging off the
Yeah,
hands,
yeah, it's look like this.
Yeah, I mean personally, I think they should ban figure eight straps because the bar is just hanging.
But
so,
if people like it, it working.
but I think the organisers just like it because the records are going up because they're hanging
Yeah,
the bar. But if
with
they have
it.
proper straps,
Yeah,
they wouldn't
yeah,
give so
yeah, no
much.
chance.
Yeah.
And IPF, IPF bar. No.
Yeah, yeah. So without the bend in
no
it, yeah.
no
So you're
bending.
actually lifting it further.
My deadlift 475 in the IPF bar.
Yeah, so that
no
bar's got
bending.
no bend in it. It's a solid bar.
Short
no
bar,
bend.
220.
Yeah. So actually the weight is slightly heavier.
And 240, Texas or
Yeah.
Eleika, 240. It's big difference.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
For
100%.
short
And that's
people who make
something-
deadlift in sumo style.
Yeah, yeah. And that's something people can't see that, but
Yeah.
it's a huge difference when you're actually doing it. Yeah.
If you want to know about it, you must try it.
Try it and you'll soon find out.
Yeah.
It's a question actually about bench press because deadlift and squat are always in World's Strongest Man and strongman competitions, but there's no bench press. And they used to do floor presses with a log.
all time.
Yeah, they used to do some incline. Do
No
you
lag.
do you think there should be any type of bench press? Maybe not a flat, but some variation. on
Like, this
incline?
is no interest.
No.
No. I in maybe 1 month I train this bench press because I can
Yeah.
bench press. Why? Why train?
But why do they not have it in strongman when they have deadlift and squat? You don't think bench should
Deadlift
be?
squat is
All
because
body,
of-
yeah?
Yes, this is real lift is heavy, much more weight. Bench press is like no interest. You know,
Okay.
only powerlifting is bench press is good. Strongman no.
So you think it's right strongman don't have
Yes.
it? And also I think the problem could be is injuries. There's lots of shoulder injuries,
Maybe,
pec
maybe,
injuries
maybe.
if they have it.
We have a lot of disciplines, you know, bench press, no.
I think they should have a more serious federation with more rules in strongman. Should there be a federation where only the very strongest people qualify,
Должна ли
not
быть
just...
какая-то федерация вот самых сильных, как вы считаете?
Lots of the fans say that it needs to be more professional with a
Чтобы сделать это
federation.
более профессиональной,
Я бы даже сказал более прозрачно, чтобы понимать вот эти отборы на чемпионат мира.
more clean, to understand why particularly this person.
Но свои коррективы, они и были отборы, но они такие достаточно как негласные были. Это вот турниры, которые турнаменты проводили Event Life. Это они считались как отборочными на World's Strongest Man, потому что организаторы одни и те же.
There were some.
Просто в том году, видишь, ограничений, вот этих турниров не было, Event Life, и, соответственно, на World's Strongest Man выбирали уже по тем результатам, которым им были интересны.
Last year, there were nothing of this, and
Quarantine, so there was no chance of
because of,
qualification.
and they just chosen according to the list what they are interested in. But it should be more clean and understand why.
Yeah.
Я был приятно удивлен, мне написали, я не буду скрывать, это не секрет, что на этот World's Strongest Man я был изначально как запасной. Но буквально через 2 дня я увидел пост, что я в основном составе. Это меня очень порадовало.
I was really,
Это придало мне еще больше ментальной силы.
I was over the moon to.
See, he was chosen.
He was chosen. First of all, he was in not in general containment,
Yeah.
but then he was in a general one. So he was really happy, and it was a motivation
Что в основном состоит.
heat that he's in general containment.
And in last year's World's Strongest Man, you had the stone off in your heats, and you lost. But lots of people said it wasn't fair because in your group, you came second, and you had to go against fourth place, and you lost the stones. Did you think it was unfair? Did you think you should have gone through to the final? Or did he think the stones was a fair system?
Последнее, что он сказал.
Он сказал, как вы считаете, это было справедливо, что вот так вот произошло?
А вы как думаете, это было справедливо?
How do you think? Was it unfair?
Unfair. That's
Unfair.
it.
The mental side of it. Where do you go in your mind when you've got like a max lift, for example? Are you in a happy place, an angry place? Where do you go? Everybody has their thing that actually motivates them. What's that for you?
You know,
And has that changed?
it has changed.
Okay.
I'd say when I was younger, I was bullied horrendously through middle school.
This is
So I
for
think
being
that-
overweight at middle school?
I was a fat kid. I also moved from Southern California to South Georgia, which, if you English people don't
We have got
understand,
no idea what that means, but
that's surfer mentality to Southern redneck and
Okay.
racial tensions. I was picked on for being the white kid. I was picked on for being fat kid. I was picked on for being from California. It was awful. And I think that probably fueled my rage for training for a long time. And then that stopped working. And, you know, you find other things, you know, ideas of doing something great, being bigger than yourself. I think what works for me now, kind of call upon my ancestors.
Okay.
And I want to make them proud.
Yeah.
And then, you know, on the other side of that, make all of everyone after me proud.
Yeah.
Do right by them, and then sometimes kind of visualize, depending. So I like putting on like Viking war drums.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that shit. So you stand there, and then you imagine it's kind of a wall of warriors trying to take your family from you. And I mean that's already getting the goosebumps going. So that's kind of where I'll go. And if you see me before an event, kind of open up and lean back, that's me leaning on my ancestors for strength.
And you're drawing in that energy.
And I'm just feeling them hold me up, and then I'm doing this for them. Yeah, it's
feeling that.
it's
now.
trained into me. Yeah,
It's interesting how that's changed then over the years
yeah.
as well. Yeah.
Well, you know, it's one of those things. We constantly grow and evolve and change, and over time, mentally, you have to kind of keep up with that. I think a lot of guys keep trying to do the same thing over and over, and maybe it worked at first, but if it stops working,
You have to be able to
you
adapt.
gotta
yeah.
grow with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you change, you grow as a person. Hopefully, you do.
Yeah, absolutely. that
If you're
makes
still
sense.
the same person now that you were 20 years ago, you might want to take a look at yourself.
Close
Yeah.
with Mark Henry.
I mean, as I say, online it never seems clear, but it seems like maybe your super total is plus 5 kilograms on mark or something like that.
Yeah, I think close with his results.
Yeah.
Because he beat me in squat and at my best 330,
But-
1016 with
Knee reps.
strap knee reps.
Yeah.
And I think he beat me in powerlifting. You know?
But you don't know for sure, and no one ever told you, okay, you are the super total world record. It's like that.
I'm not sure.
Okay,
I'm not
and that's
sure.
why I think there's so much misinformation online. because-
And you first man who asked about it, ask
really?
about me
Okay.
about that. You know, it's a
Really?
good question.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You know, don't think about that. You know,
Yeah.
Mark Henry and me in
Right,
strongman
yeah.
history, strange history. Who stronger, me or him?
While you're here with Levin, who everybody's talking about at the moment as an arm wrestler, and of course he spent a long time with Larry Wheels. He's a friend of yours that's just
come in to
Levan?
to come to support you? Yeah.
We're friends.
Okay. And
Because Georgia is very small country.
Yeah.
We have we not have a lot of sportsmen. You know.
Mm-hmm.
We have, yeah.
you and him are very high profile sportsmen from Georgia, yeah.
Strongman, I weightlifting is Lasha Talakadze, arm wrestling is Levan. We small country and we friend, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
This is normal.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have someone support
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
And have you two ever?
Together we have more power. You know?
Together you stand out, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Everybody sees you both coming and moves out the way. But have you ever tried his sport of arm wrestling, and has he ever come in to try yours of strongman? Do you ever do any training together?
No. I try a little bit. No. When I try, my hand is pain 2 weeks. You know.
Yeah.
And I said no. Only strongman for my.
strongman.
I know this sport.
Yeah.
Train only strongman. It's different sport, different training, different disciplines. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then going back to World's Strongest Man, you had a So talking about psychology, I always like to ask athletes, because we always see the physical capabilities, but we obviously can't see what people are thinking. Where do you go in your mind when you're going to say do a max lift? Are you angry?
What I
Are you a
think-
happy person?
I'm tired. I'm afraid
Yeah.
on this moment.
Afraid of what?
Afraid.
To fail
I
the
not.
lift.
I not panic. And I have a panic. I not have panic. I'm afraid. No.
Not like that.
Not like that. I'm afraid, and it's good. It's safe myself.
Afraid of what though? That
You know what I mean?
You won't do the lift.
I all the way working more much than 100% of my
Your capability.
shape. You know,
Beyond
all
that,
the way
yeah.
make more in myself. I give it all my power on my psychology in this moment. But now, when time is gone, when I still older, I remember myself on this moment. I'm more afraid than I was angry. I was angry in this moment. I was heroic in this moment. No, I'm afraid, but I did it.
It's the first time I heard
Because
that
sometimes, you know, because sometimes I think 90% of population of people make some hero things
Yeah, I think
with
like
these feelings, with afraid, because only stupid men don't afraid.
Okay, so you think fear is
only
like a bit of a
sick
good
man,
thing, yeah?
only sick man, crazy man, no afraid when boxing.
That's
when
true
doing
maybe
something
for everybody in life, yeah. But,
your
it's okay to have some fear.
hormone system,
Adrenaline builds
adrenaline
like this,
build,
yeah.
of course.
For me personally, I seem to do better the deeper into the shit that we get.
Okay.
Like the more I hurt, the more everyone's hurting, the better I seem to do.
Okay.
My mentality is I'm kind of a fighter, and I need to be punched in the face a few times before I get riled up enough.
Seems like all the shit that you've been through has actually now brought you out into a stronger place mentally. Yeah, that fair to say?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like I said earlier, it's, I've seen what hell looks like. I've stared the devil in the face, and everything that I've got now, I'm so grateful for, because life is so much better when you realize how much you do have, rather than when you're focusing on all the things that are going wrong and what you don't have.
That's the kind of key, isn't it? Focus on what you do have as opposed to what you
Gratitude.
don't have. Yeah.
Gratitude for even the littlest things. Gratitude, you know. And there were days when, you know, especially when I was deep in the darkness and I was miserable and upset. And I figured out one day that I needed to find something good in my life, and it was hard. Couldn't find anything, so it was a complete breakdown, you know. And I remember thinking finally that, you know, I still have my own 2 feet, and at least I can get up and I can get the hell out of wherever I am. I can walk myself out of this misery, and that was it. That was the start of the turnaround for me. It was finding that one almost insignificant thing to be grateful for.
Just that baby steps.
That's
and
exactly
build
it.
and build, yeah.
It felt so good. I felt joy for the first time in years. And the next day, I wanted that feeling again, so I tried to find another one. And then that's when I had to settle on, I've got my hands. The third day, I found a third thing. Fourth day, I found a fourth thing. Fifth day, I didn't find another thing, but I went back through my previous 4. So what happened was, rather than always talking about how miserable I was, focusing on all the things I'd lost, all the pain that I had, I was now looking at the same world through a different lens and looking for the good. So rather than spiraling down, I started spiraling up.
That makes sense.
And that's how I got out of that misery. One little thing. That's all it took to start.
Fine lines, yeah, between never coming out of that and
There's a lot of people
where
I know
you
that
are
didn't.
right now. Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of people I know that are still there, and a lot of people that died. And
It's the reality,
it's
right?
it's a sad place to be. I don't recommend it for anybody. Jesus Christ.
Who in all your years of competing would you consider the best strongman? Maybe, are you going to say Big Z? And if you are outside of Big Z, I mean, most people have him as one, you know, for winning so many Arnolds and World's Strongest Mans, but...
Well, you can't argue with Big Z being the most decorated.
Yeah.
I mean, far and away, his record is ridiculous. Outside of him, I'll tell you my 2 favorite to compete with is Derek Poundstone, Misha Kuklaev.
Okay.
You know, I named my son after Misha because Misha is probably the single-handed most talented individual I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, and for people that don't know, Misha took the super total world record as well.
Yeah, I think he's still number 1.
I think he took it from Mark Henry.
Yeah.
Which is, for me, that's one of the greatest sort of records in sport, the super total.
Which
it means
squat, deadlift, bench, snatch, clean and
jerk. Yeah. Because it shows you have that overall strength.
That's what I mean. He's talented.
Yeah.
And in addition to being strong as hell, he could dance,
Yeah, he's an
play the
entertainer.
accordion, play the freaking piano. I've seen him play the guitar. Tell a Russian joke that you have no idea what he's saying and still make you laugh.
Make you laugh, yeah.
You're without doubt one of the stars of the show here. You've spent here now with me nearly maybe 2 hours talking. I know full well that you could be down there and having all the
It's my
attention
life.
there, public and things.
It's my life, it's my job. I
Yeah,
love
but-
my job.
But you're someone that's without ego, despite all the things that you've done, that you're willing to spend this time with me instead of being with the fans and
I'm not
showing
spent.
off.
It's not. I not spent my. I never spent my time. I use my time.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now 2 hours I use my and your time for good interview.